Today, we're going to be talking about credit. Your credit score is one of the most important numbers that you'll ever work on in your life. Just to give you a little preview, we're going to be talking about three things related to your credit score. We're going to talk about what you need a credit score for, because there are a lot of things in this world that you need your credit score for. We're going to talk about how to build your credit score if you have no credit or poor credit. And we're going to talk about how to maintain your credit after you get it built. Welcome to Money Mastery, where we help you master your money. If this video helps you out, make sure you smash that like and subscribe to the channel to learn about all things money. A lot of people don't realize that your credit score is used for a lot more than just taking out a loan. Now, taking out a loan may be when your credit score has the biggest impact on your life, but it's going to be used for a lot of other things. One of the most popular things that your credit score will be pulled for is actually for a rental application. A lot of landlords will pull your credit to see if you have a good payment history on your other debts to make sure that you're going to be able to pay your rent consistently every month as well. Another thing that I see a lot of people missing with their credit scores is that your credit score will be pulled whenever you sign up for utilities. So after you've gotten a rental or bought a house, you have to get your utilities turned on. The utility company will usually pull your credit, and they'll use your credit score to determine whether or not they need to charge you a deposit to turn your utilities on. So to turn on your gas, water, electric, trash, sewer, all these things, you need to give them your credit score. If you have a good credit score, then they usually won't even ask for a deposit. You'll get it all set up for free and then just pay your utility bills like normal. If you have a bad credit score or no credit, then they can charge you hundreds of dollars for a deposit to get your utilities turned on. And that's money that you should get back, but it's not a guarantee. And then another thing that a lot of people don't realize with credit scores is that a lot of employers are starting to pull your credit as well. They use this to determine whether or not you're being consistent with your money management. If you don't have good financial management skills, then they may not want you to be working in their company where they're trusting you to manage other things. Now, there are a lot of other things that your credit is used for, but that's not the purpose of this video, so I'm going to jump into how to build your credit. Building your credit is something that a lot of people talk about taking a long time, but you can build your credit score really fast in 2022. I'm going to explain how I built my credit up to be over a 750 in 1 year. Previous to building my credit, I had zero credit, so that might have helped me to build it faster, but if you have bad credit, you can definitely still follow these steps and get similar results. So the first thing I did that has probably helped me the most to build my credit and continues to help me today is getting a secured deposit credit card. Now, I've heard a lot of people complain that they can't get a credit card because they don't have a good credit score. Well, a secured deposit credit card is specifically designed for people that have no credit or bad credit. And the way secured deposit credit card works is basically you're going to sign up for a credit card that has like a $200 limit, very low limit, but you're going to have to pay $50 or $100 depending on your current credit score to have a deposit on the credit card. The reason the bank does this is because they're holding some of your money. So if you default on your $200, then they still have some money that they made back. If you make your payments consistently, then they'll actually give you your deposit back. I got my deposit back on my secured deposit credit card after about 6 months. I got mine through Capital One. It was a super easy sign up process. You can just Google secured deposit credit cards and you'll get a list of all these other options. Find one that works for you and sign up for it, and then start making your payments on time, and your credit will start to go up very quickly. If you have no credit cards, then your credit score shows that you have no credit limit because you have no credit that you can access. Your credit score will be hugely impacted by just starting to have a credit card because you'll have some sort of credit limit that'll show credit utilization, and that is super important, and I'll talk about that in the next section of how to make your credit utilization look good. The second thing you need to do after you've set up your secure deposit credit card is go to your bank. I recommend scheduling an appointment and sitting down and asking them what they can do to help you build your credit. They should be able to offer you what's called a secured deposit loan. Now, this is what I did. I went and got my secured deposit credit card, and then I went straight to my bank. I bank at my local credit union, and I got a secured deposit loan. And the way it worked was they took $300 in my savings account and they froze it. So I could not access it. It showed me that it was there, but it was not part of my available funds. And then they loaned me $300 in my checking account. Then I had an automated payment set up every month for $25. My loan was for $300 and I had a payment plan set up for 1 year. So $25 a month would pay back my $300 loan that was in my savings account. I think you'll pay like $10 in interest over the course of the year. But as I paid $25, every time I paid $25, it was basically just taking the $25 and putting it in my savings account because they would free up $25 every time I made a payment. So this secured deposit loan is a super powerful way to build your credit score because it's showing that you took out a loan and you consistently paid it back and it worked well for you. So those two things are things I highly recommend to get started building your credit. That'll give you 2 lines of credit that'll start building your credit score super fast. And then the third thing that you need to do is if you already have a credit card, you need to ask for a credit increase. The reason that this is super important because your utilization will go down if your limit goes up because your utilization is all based off of a percentage of the credit that you're using. So if you can increase the credit limit that you have, then your credit score will instantly get bumped up. It is the fastest way to increase your credit score. If you have bad credit and you already have credit cards, then you need to do everything you can to pay those loans down. It is much better to be dropping those loans than it is to be trying to pay down your house faster or your car faster. Put all excess money that you can into those credit cards because that will instantly drop your credit score. If you're using some sort of credit monitoring system like CreditWise, then you'll notice if you make a $500 payment on a $2,000 credit loan, then it will increase your credit score by 20 or 30 points instantly. And by instantly, I mean the next time that your credit gets checked, which is usually once a month. Aside from these things, there are ways to just basically build your credit slowly that are going to take more time. One of the biggest things that impacts your credit score is actually the age of your credit lines. So the secured deposit credit card that you picked up, you need to never close that card. It is going to become your oldest line of credit. And the older your lines of credit are, the more credit history you have and the stronger your credit score will be. Now, I started my secured deposit credit loan with a $200 limit, but now, about 2.5 years later, I have a $2,000 limit on that. Capital One is great because they will automatically increase your credit score if you're consistent with your payments. After 6 months of consistent payments, they bumped my $200 limit up to $500, and they gave me back my $50 deposit that I made to start with. After I'd had the card for 2 years, they bumped my limit up to $2,000, and guess what? My credit score spiked by 30 points when they did that. I also have a Chase credit card that I signed up through an Amazon Rewards program that gives me 5% back on all of my purchases on Amazon, and I have a Home Depot credit card because I shop a lot at Home Depot. So using these cards responsibly has also helped me to increase my credit score drastically, but for the first 1.5 years that I worked on my credit, all I had was a secure deposit loan and a secure deposit credit card. Those two things bumped my credit score up to over a 750 credit score in 1 year. Now I have 2 car loans and a house loan that also add to my credit score when I make those payments every single month. Now let's talk about maintaining your credit score. The number one biggest factor in your credit score is your on-time payments. You never should make a late payment on any of your loans. Late payments will hurt your credit score more than anything else. So make sure that you're making those payments on time and your credit score will continue to steadily climb. The second most important factor in your credit score is your credit utilization. I mentioned credit utilization a couple times earlier in this video, but basically credit utilization is a measure of how much of your credit limit you are using. So if you have a $1,000 limit and you're using $100, you have a 10% credit utilization, which is very good. If you have a $10,000 credit limit and you're using $5,000, you have a 50% credit utilization, and that is not good. That will hurt your score. The optimal credit utilization rate is below 30%. So if you get that $200 credit card, then you need to make sure that you're never using more than $50 to $60 of that credit. Maybe use it to get gas and then pay it off right away. And that's going to be the other important thing with your credit utilization. If you never let it go above 30% and you always pay it off, then it will very quickly increase your credit score. Other things that will impact your credit score is something called your credit mix, which is how many different types of credit you have. So if you have a house loan, a car loan, and a credit card, then you have a pretty good mix of credit and your credit score will be that much stronger. Another thing is how old your credit is. And this is why you should never close your first credit card because it becomes your oldest line of credit, and 10 years from now it'll show that you have a solid 10-year credit history that you've made consistent payments on, and that'll be very solid for your credit score. Another thing is how often your credit is pulled. Now, every time your credit is pulled, there's 2 different types of credit checks. There's a soft check and a hard check. A soft credit check will not hurt your credit, A hard check will impact your credit score, but it's a minor impact, so don't let that concern you too much. Now, if you're shopping around for a loan, like a house loan or a car loan, keep in mind that usually you have 15 days after your credit is initially pulled where any other credit checks do not impact your credit score. They understand that you're shopping around for credit scores. So don't let a dealer or a mortgage company scare you into getting their mortgage, because getting your credit pulled by other companies will hurt your credit score. If it's within about 2 weeks, it will not hurt your credit score, and I highly encourage that to go get better interest rates. If you're making on-time payments and you understand the things that are impacting your credit score, you're keeping good credit utilization, then the last thing that you should do is find a way to monitor your credit score. So personally, I use CreditWise because it's free since I use a Capital One credit card. CreditWise allows me to see an update on my credit score. Now keep in mind, most of these credit monitoring softwares are not 100% accurate on your credit score, but they will give you a ballpark range and they'll let you know when your credit is being impacted. They also can work as security to allow you to know if somebody is trying to steal your identity or there's some sort of fraudulent activity on your accounts. They'll keep track of what happens with your social security number so that they can alert you if anything suspicious is going on. They'll also tell you anytime your credit is pulled. So if your credit is pulled without your knowledge, you'll know. I recommend with any credit card that you have that you set up an automatic payment and then you set up something that's automatically withdrawing. For example, I have my SiriusXM subscription set up on my Capital One credit card. It's about $20 a month, but I have it set to automatically pay that off. So I don't ever use this credit card, but every month I have a $20 purchase and then I pay off that $20. So it's showing that I'm using the card and paying it off every single month without fail. Super consistent and makes my credit score go up very quickly. Follow these tips and you'll see great results. If this video helped you out, make sure you smash that like button if you haven't already and subscribe to the channel so you can master your money.